Hey my babies, welcome back to another video. It's your girl adorekristiana. If you're new here, welcome. Today I am going to show you guys how I get this half up, half down crochet hairstyle. If you are interested, then stick around and let's get into it. I'm starting by separating the front from the back, so I'm going to create a part going from the middle of my head down to my ear on both sides, and then I'll section that away so that I can start working on the back. I'm using my parting comb again just to create a part in the back to separate it in half. It doesn't have to be perfect. And now I'm going to work on this first section on the left by breaking that in half, and I'm going to put one half away and proceed with flat twisting this first section we have here. And then I did the same to the other, and now that I'm done, I'm going to grab them and combine them. And make sure that the ends are twisted up tightly, then do the same to the other. And this is what it looks like when I'm all done. So let me show you what I'm going to do to these. I'm just going to crisscross them, and I'm going to pin them up like so, just using my bobby pins. So I'm starting with one side, and then I'm going to work my way to the other side and secure that as well. And this is what it looks like all secured. Here is my foundation. Now I can work on the front. So I'm just going to detangle it and now brush it up so that I can put it into place where I want it, because I'm going for this half up, half down look. So now I'm just going to secure it unsecurely so that I can put my product, which is my clear Got to Be an Invincible gel. I love this stuff for slicking. Yes ma'am. So I'm gonna brush my hair up and get it super slick to my liking. I added so much gel, y'all. I don't play about my slick styles. Once I'm happy with how flat it is, I'm gonna grab my hair ties and tie this up very tightly and securely once and for all. And then I'm gonna grab my toothbrush and take my baby hair out, you guys, because this gel has a very strong hold. So if I don't take them out now, they shall never come out. So here I am slicking again. I added more gel, and I'm using my toothbrush to use those fine bristles to get it super flat. And now it's time to dry it into place with my blow dryer. This took about 60 seconds. Another reason why I love this gel, it gets the trick done very speedy, y'all. And now I decided I was going to break my ponytail into sections and braid them down, but you can do it however you want. You cannot braid or twist at all. You can do one big twist, one big braid, but my hair is pretty thick, so I wanted to get the bun as small as possible. So when I'm done, I'm going to wrap the braids around each other and secure it with my scrunchie. Now I can get my hair. My crochet hair is from my local beauty supply store. This is the color, the style, the brand, and of course you're going to need a crochet hook. Now this is what one strand looks like when you take it out of the pack, and it has like a pre-made loop in it. So what I like to do is utilize that loop. So I put my pointer finger and my thumb between the loop that's in the middle, and then I hold it taut with the rest of my fingers so that when I move my pointer and my thumb in and out, it creates like this nice tight triangle. And as long as I'm holding the bottom portion of the hair tight with my remaining fingers, that will allow the triangle to stay nice and smooth and tight, which allows me to hook it on to the crochet hook seamlessly without snagging hair and any further difficulties. For my visual learners, you will see me do this throughout the video. And for my people who just need experience to get something down, once you keep doing this and trying it over and over, it starts to feel normal. But of course, at first, it feels a little funny. But that was me continuing this row in the back, and now I'm finishing it off with this strand of hair right here. I'm pulling it through to make a knot, and now that row is done. I started to add the pieces of hair to my hand as I picked up the crochet hook. This way I could immediately apply it to the hook, and that became way more efficient than doing it how I was doing it previously. But this is me showing you the first row, and now I'm showing you where I'm going to complete the second row. And speaking of efficiency, I'm really happy that this time I decided to use each cluster that is pre-made in the pack as is versus breaking the clusters in half and then crocheting each of those into my hair. This saved me so much more time, and all I did differently was separate the hair after my entire application. And this is an instance where my technique fell off a little bit, and that piece of hair that was wrapped around my pointer finger and my thumb wasn't as tight as it could have been. So I ended up snagging hair onto the hook, but I just knotted it up as usual and pulled out the excess frizzy hair that got snagged, and it was good as new. I'm completing the second row here, just adding my last few strands to this side so that it looks complete over here. Again, using that technique where I pick up a piece of hair, add it to my hands, and pick up the crochet hook at the same time. This way it goes by so much more quickly. So I'm sealing up this end as well, and this is what my head looks like so far. Now that I've completed it from ear to ear, I'm finally getting toward my crown area. So I decided I was going to use my mirror now so that I can fill these gaps without putting more pieces than I need. So what I'm focusing on here is covering up the parts, the twist, and any color that I see popping out that does not match the hair. So it isn't necessary for me to fill in every single inch of this portion of my head. I'm just focusing on distancing them far enough so that it covers what it needs to cover without putting too many clusters in my head, or else it will start to look a little more unrealistic and it'll just look too bulky. So what you saw me do right here is cover up that piece of hair, but I didn't even put it directly on top of it. I put it a few inches above it, and when it fell, it covered it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my tactic here. I'm spacing them out and I'm allowing the fullness of the hair to fall over what needs to be covered. And now that I'm getting very close to the top portion here, I'm not going to put any of the crochet hair at the actual tippy top or the peak, so to speak, because I'm going to do a half up ponytail anyway, so that hair is going to fall right over it. So it's just unnecessary to even cover it. Mind you, at this point I was finishing up the first pack out of 2 anyway, so this is what my half looks like with the entire pack in. And y'all, it looks pretty dang good, I might say. So this is what it looks like, and that little bit of color peeking out will be fine in the end because, like I said, I'm going to separate these curls anyway. And now I'm showing you how I wrap the hair around my fingers once again, and I'm going into my second pack of hair, and I am crocheting each piece in, starting in the back, and then I started to work my way to the sides of my hair and just kind of freestyling. I really didn't have much of a technique or a tactic going on here. I just knew in the end I was going to have to cover all of my color. So after I did the sides, I worked my way to the front, and cluster by cluster I just kept adding them in and then moving the hair around to see where I should add it in next. The one thing I did keep in mind though was to try and add the crochet hair as close to the top of the bun as possible so that when it falls down it's more likely to cover the color. But at this point, y'all, I was literally almost through this entire second pack, and at the end of this bun I was at the end of the pack and I could still see color. So I ended up just putting it to the side and saying I'm gonna get back to this. I have to kind of think about what I'm gonna do. So I decided to start working on the back, and the first step was to separate all of the curls and see like what I'm working with and how I want to style this hair. So I'm just separating on each side to give it more of a natural look, because with separation comes a little bit more frizz and a lot more volume. So now that I'm done separating, I'm just cutting straight across for length. And then once I get the length that I'm digging, I'm going to slant my scissors to create more of a rounded shape. So I cut for length first and then I cut for shape second. So you're going to see me do the same thing on this other side here. See how I'm slanting my scissors? That's just what I do to try and make it look a little more rounded and more natural. And once I am fine with that, I'm going to start doing the same process to this ponytail. So I'm just separating it a little bit, and then I'm going to grab my scissors and cut. But I was just trying to check it out, y'all, and I was like, what is happening? Like, this can't be. but I said, okay, once again, we're gonna come back to that. So I grabbed my scissors and I'm just shaping out my ponytail and making it the length that I want, and just trying to make it look as natural as possible, you know. So this is what it's looking like, and I decided to get it together as far as covering my bleached hair. I was going to use my bobby pin, so I'm just arranging the hair around my natural bun, using the hair to cover up the color. And I would recommend using hair pins versus bobby pins. If you didn't know, they are two different things, and they are specifically for this kind of use. My bobby pins kept sliding right out as soon as I would push them in, but your girl made it work. But just to put that out there, I do recommend using hairpins for this. But yep, so I just kept rearranging my hair around the crochet hair around my bun, and adding more and more bobby pins and checking it out every so often. And then I felt like this was good, and after a while I was like, you know what, I think I want to add like a little bit more zhuzh to this. So I grabbed one of the pieces of crochet hair out of the ponytail and I wrapped it around, you know, that little base that we be doing, y'all know. And I figured I should do this now because then I could play with the rest of the hair that remains in the ponytail. So once that was secured, I started arranging a little bit more and adding more bobby pins and just literally doing my best, you guys. But I quickly realized this was as good as it was gonna get, but your girl was not settling for that. So after a quick random thought, I realized I had something for that. This is temporary spray on hair color, you guys. I got this from the dollar store, okay? And granted, this is black, but when I tell you, when I step outside of this ring light, you cannot tell the difference. And I'll give it to the ring light because it was doing its job, okay? But in natural light, y'all, oh my God, it did the trick. So this is what the back looks like. It's looking very full. It's giving full coverage, honey. Crochet Hook, you know what I'm saying? So now that that is all done, I'm gonna do my baby hair. And I'm using my Got To Be Invincible Clear Gel once again, y'all. I love this stuff. Natural hair, wigs, it doesn't matter. This stuff does so well for me. So I don't know what it was. I think it was something about this look that just filled me with fierceness, because your girl started showing out with the baby hairs. If you watch my channel, y'all, when do I ever flick the wrist like this? Okay, so freaking cute. So when I was done, I tied it up and I let it sit for a little bit. I got dressed. I ended up shaping a little bit more and separating the curls a lot more to give me that frizzy, natural, voluminous look. And after my finishing touches, you guys, just check it out. It was looking so full, so natural. It was giving a baby doll, okay? All right, my babies, this is the final look. I am so proud of how this turned out, you guys. I definitely had a moment with this half up portion, but my tricks pulled through, okay? If this video was enjoyable and helpful, make sure you give it a big old like. And you already know, if you want to see more from me, because I got more for you, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all babies in the next one. Bye.